Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Judge Jackie Powell, and this is First Appearance Court. And in a few minutes, I will be calling each name individually, and then we will address the issues. Two, one, whether there's probable cause, and two, release conditions. Today's not your trial date, so if you wish to talk about your case, you may want to talk to your attorney first before saying anything on the record, because everything in this courtroom is being recorded and can be used against you at a later time. We will begin with the first appearance docket, and then also there are some of you this afternoon who are here either for second look at your bond status or 30-day motions. We will address those after the first appearance. So we will start this afternoon with Jacqueline Bendel.
Yes, ma'am.
And she would like to resolve these matters today. I obviously can only represent her on count one, but she did indicate she wants to resolve them all if possible.
All right, I know that Ms. Bendel has been before this court before,
Yes, ma'am.
and I don't remember what the issue was the first time. I remember though that it took us a little while to figure out what to do with Ms. Bendel, and now
Yeah, they had messed up the paperwork or something when I had got released.
now she's before the court on 5 misdemeanor cases, and charges, these are all from May. He didn't show up for 2 cases at arraignment on May 8th. Then there was one from April 25 for panhandling, then April 11th for trespassing, and then May 16th for trespassing. So we have 5 different cases that we're dealing with at this time. And it is not going to be a time-served sentence. So, what does the state have something to say?
Judge, based on what the state has, the state was going to recommend time served on count one, but only as to count one. We don't have her on the 4 other city charges.
Okay. And what kind of priors does Ms. Bendel have?
Looks like she has a 2012 child neglect and adjudication in VOP, a 2012 possession of oxy adjudication in VOP, a 2012 petty theft withhold, and a 2018 trespass. Well, yeah, a 2018 trespass, Judge.
All right, so maybe the time when she was before me was on one of these KPS matters, or all of them?
Certainly a possibility.
Yeah. All right, if Ms. Bendel wishes to resolve her case, it'll be 5 days in the county jail, will be the sentence.
Is that what you would like to do, Ms. Bendel?
I guess so.
Well,
You get credit for all the time that you've been in. So I think
Okay.
how long have you been in jail now?
Since like 10 o'clock yesterday, I think.
All right, so that's 1 day right there.
all right. Well, I don't want you to guess. I'm telling you that that's what I'm gonna sentence you to if you resolve the case. So if you wish to accept that, we can do that, or otherwise you'll just go to your division judge to deal with these matters. So, what do you want to do?
I would like to resolve it.
All right. So please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down. And Ms. Bendel, do you understand everything that's going on here today?
I think so.
Well, again, if you only think so, I am not gonna be able to take your plea.
You're not releasing me today, is that what you're saying?
That's right, it's gonna be 5 days in the county jail.
Okay.
So you can think, I need you to know, because if you
I
think,
understand, yes, ma'am,
Okay.
I understand.
all right, so, do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
And you understand that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right.
Yes.
And have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No.
And do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what plea do you wish to enter, guilty or no contest?
No contest.
All right, I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence on each of these cases is adjudication, 5 days Broward County Jail to run concurrent, okay? Good
So,
luck.
counting today, so in 4 more days I get released?
I believe so, yes.
Thank you.
Karen Hope,
Also North Broward, Your Honor. Ms. Hope would like to resolve this matter.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Hope, you're before the court for a trespassing charge. The court finds probable cause. Does the state have an offer for Ms. Hope?
Yes, Judge, it would be an adjudication, time served, no return to the airport.
All right. Ms. Hope, did you hear that offer?
Yes, I do.
And you understand the no return to the airport?
Yes, I do.
All right, so, and then do you wish to resolve your case knowing that that will be your sentence?
As time served?
Time served, no return to the airport for Lauderdale?
Yes.
Yes? All right,
Yes.
please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. And Ms. Hope, do you understand everything that's going on here today?
Yes.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, I was arrested. I'm not allowed to go to the airport.
Okay. Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, ma'am.
And you do understand you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right.
Yes, I understand that.
And have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
I do take an antidepressant and I am under some care, yes.
Is there anything about the medication that you take or the care that you're under that would prevent you from making a decision about this case today?
Wellbutrin, no, ma'am.
Okay. And do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes, I understand.
What plea do you wish to enter, guilty or no contest?
No contest.
All right, I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given, and your sentence is adjudication and time served. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
Crystal Francis,
She's present here at Maine, Judge. She's approaching.
all right, Ms. Francis is before the court on a misdemeanor capias matter. The charge is petty theft. This capias was issued since January of this year. So the court finds probable cause. What does Ms. Francis wish to do?
Judge, it's me, Ms. Francis. She is interested in contesting these allegations. She gave me the phone number of her mother. I intend on calling her after court to post her monetary bond.
All right, so she has a $1,000 bond at this time. All right, Zakendra Gary,
She's here, present, Judge, at Maine. Municipal ordinance.
yes. All right, Ms. Gary, you have 2 municipal ordinance violations. One is a battery charge and one is a possession of drug paraphernalia. All right, Ms. Gary, what do you want to do today?
Pending cases. Is it possible I can resolve my case today?
I'm sorry?
Is it possible I can resolve my case today?
All right, Ms. Gary, based on the allegations, If you wish to resolve your case today, the sentence would be 5 days in the county court, in the jail, county jail. So, do you want to accept that plea offer, or do you wish to post your bond and go to your division judge?
I'll take 5 days.
All right, then please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down. And Miss Gary, do you understand everything that's going on here today?
Yes.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
Do you need any more time to speak with an attorney?
No.
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No.
And do you understand that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right?
Yes.
And also, do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes.
All right, then what plea do you wish to enter, guilty or no contest?
No contest.
I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. You're sentenced to adjudication in 5 days in the Broward County Jail. Tiffany Cox?
She's approaching, Judge. She's here at Maine.
All right, Ms. Cox, you are before the court. 1 count of possession of cocaine. Count 2 is a violation of felony probation, which has a no bond hold. And you have court before your felony judge tomorrow at 8:30. The court finds probable cause as to the possession of cocaine, and your bond is $1,000. Okay? Ricardo Costa.
You're present, Judge of Maine?
All right, Mr. Costa is before the court on a misdemeanor KPS. Looks like you did not show up for, is it a violation of probation hearing?
It is, Judge. Looks like he picked up a no valid and tested positive for cocaine use and did not show.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave this so that Mr. Costa can go to his division judge tomorrow at 8:30, okay? Bond is, okay. Desmond Henderson,
Mr. Henderson is here, present, Judge of Maine.
all right, Mr. Henderson is before the court on a misdemeanor KPS. I've been informed that his bond has been posted, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Fabian Johnson,
Mr. Johnson is here, present, Judge of Maine. Come on up, Mr. Johnson.
and Mr. Johnson has a KPS for a unlawful tag or sticker charge. And this KPS was issued January 8th of this year. What does Mr. Johnson wish to do?
Judge, he is interested in contesting this allegation. He did advise me he was out of town when he had a court date. So, Judge, he did give me the phone number of his mother, Shannon, who I intend on calling after court to post his monetary bond.
All right, his bond is $500. Heron Bernal,
I've been informed he bonded, Judge.
okay. And then Michael Jones. Mr. Jones is on medical loan. And Paul Heisenberg.
North Broward, I believe, Judge.
Thank you.
Do I have Mr. Heisenberg?
Yes, ma'am. It's coming.
All right, so Mr. Heisenberg is before the court for failure to report or to report change of residence. And then count 3 is a felony violation of probation with a no bond hold. Mr. Heisenberg does have court tomorrow before his felony judge. The court finds probable cause as to count 2. Does anyone wish to be heard as to the bond on 2?
Not if he's gonna go before his division judge.
All right, so then I'll impose $1,500 bond on count 2, okay? All right, good luck, sir.
Oh, can I say one thing?
Yes, sir?
Oh, normally I was taking Tegretol and Trelleborn at one time. They had labeled me as bipolar, which I am not. You can tell I take like a sugar boot, and I've been through like hospitalization. You can tell from, my arms. You can tell.
What are you asking for, sir?
I would like to be put back on the Tegretol and Trelleborn.
Well, I can't order the doctors to put you on any medication. That's not something that I'm allowed to do, so.
Okay.
You'll go before your division judge tomorrow, and then you can speak with your attorney further about any treatment, okay?
Okay, but I'm out of the hospital not too long ago.
Okay, you'll be before your division judge tomorrow.
Make sure you bring that up with your public defender tomorrow morning in court. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, good luck.
Okay. Robbie Evans,
Mr. Evans is here, present judge at Maine. He's gonna be approaching right now.
okay.
He's here, present judge.
All right, Mr. Evans, you're before the court this afternoon for 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill, and count 2 is trespassing. The court finds probable cause, and I'll hear from the parties as to bond.
State would request a $5,000 bond with pretrial release and a GPS monitor, no victim contact, and no return to that location of incident.
The allegations are that the alleged victim was in a wheelchair. Is Mr. Evans also in a wheelchair? Is that a,
He's in a
or is that,
wheelchair right now.
well, right now, but is that, I know he's in a wheelchair right now, but is that something that is, that he would normally have been in a wheelchair? I'm just trying to figure out.
Judge, that was one of the issues I was gonna bring up as far as, I know the state suggested a $5,000 bond. Mr. Evans did advise me because of physical injury, right now, he's not in a position to work. So basically, he's financially indigent, he is homeless, he has no sort of savings. He advised me that no one he can contact to help post his monetary bond. Now, he's been living here in our community for almost 20-plus years. He's 49 years old. But right now, Judge, he cannot afford any monetary bond, so we're asking you to take that into consideration and determining reasonable release conditions for Mr. Evans.
All right, so just, maybe, just to clarify my question, is Mr. Evans permanently in a wheelchair?
Judge, from what he's advised me, he suffers from extensive nerve damages from his knees to his feet, which basically prohibits him from walking. I can't walk at all. That's what he's advised me, Judge.
Okay, so I just wanted to understand that this incident was between 2 persons in a wheelchair? Is that what
That's the way it seems, yeah.
okay.
That is the way it reads, Judge, and
Okay.
just letting the court know, it looks like he's also on, looks like some sort of pretrial release in case number 17008868 CF10A, which is before Judge Merrigan. It's for failing to report.
Okay.
And Judge, and you were correct when you pointed out, when Mr. Evans did tell me it was 2 people involved in an argument. He's looking forward to his day in court. He's contesting that he ever threatened him or anything like that. He was simply saying it was an argument between the both of them.
Okay. All right. Did we say he's on pretrial before Judge Merrigan?
I believe, Your Honor, there was a capias, but Judge Merrigan lifted the capias and actually ROR'd him.
All right, then I'm gonna release Mr. Evans to pretrial supervision, and, sir, you need to make sure that you report to the pretrial office within 24 hours of your release. If you don't go, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Thank you. Here's the map to pretrial, sir. Report there as soon as you can.
George Bunn,
Mr. Bunn is approaching, Judge. He's here at me.
Mr. Bunn, you're before the court on one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. Count 2 is a writ of arrest with a civil purge of $1,434, I believe. And the court finds probable cause. And as to count 1,
Judge State's recommendation is a $5,000 bond with pretrial release and a GPS monitor, no contact with the listed victim, Angela Williamson.
Mr. Bunn is financially indigent. He is homeless. As you could see by evidence as far as count 2, he's $1,434 in arrear of child support because simply he doesn't have it, Judge. Now, he did advise me he is looking for employment. He was previously employed for a company in their maintenance department, making about $15 an hour, but unfortunately he lost his job. Now he's looking for employment. From what he advised me, Judge, there's no one that's going to be able to help post his bond, so we're asking you to take that into consideration in determining reasonable release conditions for Mr. Bunn.
does Mr. Bunn have any other priors?
Judge, he has most recent 2013 possession of marijuana adjudication, 2016 use of false ID, a withhold, and a 2015 adjudication for a DWLS.
All right, then I'll release Mr. Bunn on level 2 pretrial. No contact with the victim until further order of the court.
And Judge, unfortunately, he is homeless, so he doesn't have an address.
Well, then he either is gonna have to post a bond or level 2, so it'll either be $2,000 bond or he's gonna be on a level 2 pretrial.
Let me ask. Judge, level 2. Level 2, he's gonna try and call friends and family, Judge.
Okay. All right, Eddie Arrington,
Mr. Arrington, come on up, please.
Good afternoon, Judge.
good afternoon, sir. You're before the court for charge 1 is driving while license suspended. 2 and 3 are civil writs, and then 4 is a traffic capias. So the court finds probable cause. The 2 writs, the counts 2 and 3 are not for magistrate, so those are child support amounts. Charge number 2 has $405, and number 3 has $390. So the court finds probable cause and
Judge, Mr. Arrington is requesting the court consider releasing him under supervision with pretrial release. He's been here his whole entire life, Judge. He's 40 years old. He is working right now. He works in construction. He's been employed with the same company for 1 year. He makes approximately $11 an hour there. He lives locally here. He lives in Sunrise where he rents with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend is on disability. So from what he advised me, no one's in a financial position to post his bond. That is why he's asking for the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release on this non-violent offense.
All right, on counts 1 and 4, I'll release Mr. Arrington to pretrial supervision. On 2 and 3, there's a civil purge, you have to pay those amounts to be out, okay? You must report to the pretrial office. If you don't, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. So you have until tomorrow morning to get there. Daniel Nelson,
Mr. Nelson's approaching.
all right, Mr. Nelson is before the court. Possession of methamphetamine is count 1. Count 2 is possession of drug paraphernalia. The court finds probable cause. And I'll hear from the parties.
Judge state's fine with the convenient bond set at $1,000.
Okay?
Judge, I'm just talking over Mr. Nelson. I told him if there's anyone he can come up with to see if they can post his bond, nothing's changed. Nobody's gonna be able to help post his bond. Judge, he is working though. He works for a company called Variety Foods. He basically packs foods. He's been working there for about 6 months, making about $10 an hour now. He's been living here for almost 11 years, 34 years old. He lives locally here in Fort Lauderdale with a roommate. That's who his partner, Judge. That's who he advised that he doesn't think he's gonna be able to financially help him with this bond. So that's why we are asking for the court to consider releasing Mr. Nelson on pretrial release. And also, I see this is a drug offense. So if the court were even inclined to, have Mr. Nelson be subject to random drug testing, we certainly wouldn't object, but we're asking for the court to consider releasing Mr. Nelson.
What kind of criminal history does Mr. Nelson have, if
Judge,
any?
he has a 2012 fleeing and eluding, for which he received an adjudication and a VOP, 2013 DWLS adjudication, 2015 use of false ID, as well as a grand theft adjudication and VOP, and a 2016 grand theft adjudication and a 2017 fraud case, for which he received an adjudication as well.
All right, I am going to leave the bond in place at this time. It's $1,000 on count 1. Brian Andrews,
Mr. Andrews, come on up, please. He's approaching, Judge. Do you remain?
all right, Mr. Andrews is before the court. Count 1 is possession of cocaine. Count 2 is possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. Count 3 is operating without a valid driver's license. The court finds probable cause.
Judge, Mr. Andrews said his bond should be posted shortly. Is there any way to check to see if his bond's been posted yet?
Okay.
No.
It's not showing yet, so his bond is $1,000.
Thank you, Judge.
Michael Koa. Yeah.
Mr. Coy is approaching, Judge.
All right, sir, you are before the court. Count 1 is possession of drug paraphernalia. Count 2 is DUI, alcohol or drugs. Count 3, felony violation of probation, which has a no bond hold. And count 4 is attaching registration license plate not assigned. The court finds probable cause. You will be before your division felony judge tomorrow at 8:30. And you have a bond of $500 on count 2. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Zachary Lenz.
Mr. Lenz is here at Main, Judge. He is approaching. Mr. Lenz, come on up, please.
All right, Mr. Lenz, you're before the court. Charge 1, DUI, alcohol or drugs. 2, possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. 3, 4, 5, 6, possession of methamphetamine. 7 and 8, possession of Xanax. The court finds probable cause.
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Lenz earlier today, he gave me the phone number of his brother who I intend on contacting after court. That's who I'm gonna call to help him post his monetary bond.
All right, so the standard bonds will remain in place. Okay. All right, that will be it for our first appearance docket. And then we have one on our misdemeanor hearing docket, Joseph Dorigo. Where do we have Mr. Dorigo? Joseph Dorigo, Maine?
Should be at the main.
Is he on the second look or 30-day, Judge?
He's the only person on the misdemeanor docket.
Oh, Joseph Derigo.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Mr. Derigo, you? Derigo? Judge, I'm assuming he's on his way.
All
Who's the
right.
last?
No, he's in regular court.
Judge. He's in regular courtroom number 2128.
Okay, all right, so then we can delete it, and then maybe he's there for,
Maine always has all the information.
okay. All right, so let's go to the felony docket. Justin Shelton,
No problem, John.
thank you.
Sure.
All right, so it looks like Mr. Shelton's most recent arrest was June 9th. So how much bond does he have at this time?
Because y'all can't get along.
Shelton. Okay, I don't have any information from Mr. Shelton. So what's the status?
As I understand, no information has been filed.
No information has been filed, Judge.
So is it a 30-day motion? Because it looks like there was an arrest and then a rearrest or something. So June 9th, where? It is? Okay. All right. So then there's no action to take on this case then? Because it's not a 30-day motion. Doesn't look like that's the case. All right.
Well, I still feel, Judge,
Yeah.
that you can only hold somebody so long without filing charges against them, and they haven't filed charges against Mr. Shelton.
But has he been in 30 days on this charge? That was my initial question. 'Cause
Right.
it looks like he was arrested May 21st, and I don't know how long he
May I
was in. Yes.
May I ask you? I was rearrested not for another charge. I was rearrested for the warrant for violation of pretrial. I'm not from around here. I'm from Lake Worth. I have had issues with finding my way around the city. I'm still learning. I missed court by mistake. I have a job. I have children. I'm just wanting to get this resolved as soon as possible. I've already got 20, I believe over
But-
20 some days served.
But apparently he also has a no bond hold, is what pretrial, is what
Because-
confinement is saying.
Yeah, because
So-
of the court
Yes,
date.
but
I'm not on GPS.
I still think that he cannot be held indefinitely on a charge that hasn't been filed. And it does appear as though his 30 days has not elapsed in looking at this. But I think that once that 33rd day comes around, I think the court has to
Right.
release him.
And I understand that, but that was my question. Is he there yet? Because based on these dates, is he there at 30? Because if it's,
Judge, if the original arrest was 5/21.
yes.
Um,
When was
31
he
days in May,
released?
That's 10 days plus 20, oh wait, when was he released? He was
Right.
released that day. That is true. And then he was rearrested on the 9th, so that would technically put him at 17 days total.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. So he's not at the 30 days yet. So I'm not gonna take any action today, all right?
There's no way I can get this resolved at this moment because, like I said, I'm gonna end up losing my job over this.
This is
over
a
me
felony,
missing a court date.
this is a felony charge, and you cannot resolve felony matters at first appearance. You have to go before your division judge,
This
okay?
is my second appearance.
Well, this is a first appearance court, so you're not, they brought you back for I look at your bond status, but you are being held no bond, which is something that I cannot change. And also, this is not a 30-day motion because you have not been in custody for 30 days on this charge.
It's
Okay?
what, the 25th?
I don't know.
On the 8th will be, on the 8th, from today, or from the day I got arrested on the 9th. On the 8th will be 32 days.
All right, then speak with
So
your,
also on the on what, the 6th, the 7th will be 30 days?
speak with your attorney, sir. All
I
right?
don't know who that is at the moment,
All
man.
right.
I do, and I'll talk to the attorney who filed the motion, because I think that they were going by the May 21st date.
Right.
And not taking into account that there was a period of time when you were not in custody.
All right.
So
We
how
have
many days do I have
Cockrell.
left is all I was
Sir?
I don't know, I gotta look into it, but we'll get you back here on the 33rd day if they haven't filed the charge by then.
Yeah.
All right, I only have the last name, Cockrell. What's the first name?
Alfred, Judge.
Alfred?
Alfred.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cockrell. Mr. Cockrell was arrested on May 23rd. So Mr. Cockrell is here for a 30-day motion. Has the information been filed?
Not on Mr. Cochran, no, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Cockrell, the information has not been filed. You are entitled to be released, and I will sign that order. It does not mean that the state cannot file the charges after you're released, but we can't hold you in custody any longer pending that filing. So you need to make sure you pay attention to the mail, so you know if you have to come back to court, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, then Don King. Oh, here's Mr. King at Maine. Don King.
I believe Paul Ryan, Judge.
Oh,
Maine Toys.
is there anyone over at Paul Ryan? All right, while we're waiting to see if we've got someone, Ralph Skolstad? Do we have Ralph?
He's here approaching, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Skolstad was arrested June 4th.
Judge, I'm sorry.
Was he,
Judge, I was going to say, I have a note from Mr. Linder saying that the public defender was supposed to prepare a custody-to-custody transfer for Mr. Skolstad. No?
looks like he was released with pretrial and GPS.
I believe, and I didn't get the information. I'm hoping Mr. Reedy knows more about this.
I don't know anything
believe
about
that
it.
he was, what?
Anything about it, nobody told me anything about it.
Nobody told me anything, but I figure if you're with the computer over there, you might know. My understanding, it seems like he was released on Elmo. I believe Mr. Saunders found him a program, so maybe custody to that program, I'm assuming.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, confinement?
We received information and his file has gone to the release that stated that his address has been verified and has been released.
Oh.
Oh, okay, well, that solves that.
The confinement is saying that everything's been verified and he's being released. He's been okayed for release, okay?
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, I just need 24 hours. I have to go get cancer. I got terminal cancer. I just need a 24-hour window so I can go to Memorial Hospital and get my chemo tomorrow. I've got terminal cancer. I've got stomach, liver, kidney. I got 6 of the top 10 cancers.
Okay.
I'm right behind you. I know you're right behind you. No, anyway, Your Honor, I just want to go to chemo on Memorial tomorrow and get that taken care of. I'll see Katrina Vera at pretrial by noon, 1 o'clock tomorrow.
He's having an Elmo, so they're gonna come out and take him.
They have to come fit you for an ankle monitor because you're on a Elmo, okay? All right. Nan Luong. I think I remember.
Mr. Nan Luong is here present, Judge.
Yeah.
All right. He was arrested on June 20th, so,
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Luong, he's 60 years old. Right now, he has a profession. He does nails for a living. Right now, he's currently looking for employment. Judge, he has family that live here, but right now they don't live here?
No, I look at I work, I can work. I contact nobody. Oh, I'm here. I can contact nobody. Please help me out. I do anything. I'm working.
Judge, he's asking the court to consider on this possession of cocaine offense, if the court will consider releasing him on pretrial release.
how much bond is he currently on?
I believe it was $1,000.
And does he have priors?
None that I see, Judge.
Okay. All right. So I'll release Mr. Luong to pretrial supervision, and that's going to include random drug testing. Sir, if you don't go there tomorrow, a warrant will be issued for your arrest, so you must report tomorrow morning by 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'll be there.
That's the man. That's how you get there, sir, okay?
Yeah, so I go there tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, as soon as you wake up, be there before 9 a.m., okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sure.
All right. Chandrika Brinson. Okay. All right, Ms. Brinson was arrested, on June 20th. There's a grand theft charge. And how much bond is Ms. Brinson have in on? And does she have any priors?
She does. Most recently, there was a 2015 grand theft adjudication with the VOP, as well as 2015 possession of PVP, 2013 petty theft adjudicated, 2014 violation of injunction withhold, 2014 false name adjudication, and a 2013 grand theft adjudication in VOP.
Okay.
Judge, she has been a resident of South Florida her entire life. She's been living at the same location for the last 2 years. She lives with family. She lives with her cousin. She attended Dillard High School. And perhaps most significantly, she is, as the court can see, very pregnant. She's 7 months pregnant, and she indicated to me that she is having contractions. She has 6 children, and every time she's given birth to a child, it's been earlier in the pregnancy than full 9 months. Also, she advised me that in the past, she has been on pretrial release and did successfully complete it. So I would ask the court to give her another opportunity on pretrial release on this grand theft charge.
Ma'am, how far along are you?
I'm 7.5 months.
All right, I'll release Ms. Brinson to pretrial supervision. The deputy is going to give you the information for pretrial. You must report by tomorrow morning. If you don't go by tomorrow, a warrant will be issued for your arrest.
All right, thank you so much.
All right.
Don't miss court, Chandrika. Good luck.
I'm not.
Okay.
Daryl Honnigan.
Mr. Hunningham is here, present judge at Maine. He is approaching. Come on up, sir.
All right, Mr. Honnigan has $1,000 bond, total in
Correct,
bond.
Judge. He has a $1,000 bond. He's been in custody since June 20th. Judge, my understanding right now, he's not working. He's looking for work, but he goes to school. He goes to Florida Career College. He goes Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. He lives in Lauderhill with his cousin. His cousin works. His cousin is a caretaker. And from what my understanding is, she's not in position to post his bond. So Mr. Hunningham is requesting this court consider releasing him on pretrial release. And my understanding, He has limited contact with the criminal justice system, Judge.
What is Mr. Honnigan's criminal history state?
None that I can see, Judge.
Okay. And, all right, I'll release Mr. Honnigan to pretrial supervision. Okay. Sir, you need to report to the pretrial office by 9 a.m. tomorrow. You need to be the first one there at the door when they open. If you don't report, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Christopher Grant?
Judge,
He
I
bonded?
believe he bonded.
Okay. Hendrik Desir?
Mr. Desir, he's approaching, Judge.
Was Mr. Desir released to pretrial, or?
He was given, I believe, $1,000 bond plus pretrial.
Okay.
And as that still here, he can't afford that financial bond. Now, Judge, he's looking for work. He lives in Lauderhill. He's been here for over 25 years, Judge.
College
But
educated.
he went to school here, but no one can afford to post his bond. That's why he's asking on this nonviolent offense to consider releasing him on pretrial, and he will be coming to court, Judge.
Yeah.
Does Mr. Desir have any priors?
He does, Judge.
Yes, sir.
He is it's 2016. There is a 2019 felony petty theft that has currently been filed. There's a 2016 felony petty theft. He received an adjudication with the VOP. There's also a 2016 possession of cocaine adjudication VOP, 2016 felony petty theft adjudication with the VOP, 3 2016 petty thefts. 2 of them are adjudications, one of which is a withhold, trespass from 2015, withhold. There's several possessions of cocaine in 2015, 2014, 2013, all adjudicated, resisting a merchant and petty theft in 2014 adjudication. A DUI as far back as 2004, burglary, structure unoccupied and petty theft, 2009.
All right.
Judge,
Yes.
court is not inclined, because of his criminal priors, Judge. Mr. Desir is even willing to accept a level 2 pretrial, so that he can be on the outside waiting till this case hopefully gets resolved.
Well, based on the priors, the fact that he also is out on a 2019 felony petty theft, I'm not going to take any actions. The bond will remain with the other conditions by the previous judge, okay? Conrad Alls?
No problem.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Alls was arrested also on June 21st. This is a felony petty theft.
Yes, that's correct, Judge. Mr. Alls did indicate to me that he does have a place to go. He's been staying, it was at the Foundations,
Yes,
Mr. Alls?
Just a halfway house I just got into.
He's
Yes, sir.
indicated to me he's welcome back there, but he has no money whatsoever to post a bond, Judge.
When were you accepted into this halfway house?
About 2 weeks ago,
So,
Foundation,
so why are you not there yet?
because I'm in jail.
Well, you were arrested on June 21st.
Yes, ma'am, I was arrested
A couple of days ago. Yes, ma'am.
Right, so
didn't-
you were accepted in foundations, you said 2 weeks ago. Why weren't you there?
Oh, I was out. I was out in the store, and you know, yeah.
What is the name of this place?
Foundations, Your Honor.
Do we have a number for foundations?
We can get it. Let's see.
Ah.
Is this also known as the Beach House, Mr. Rawls?
No, sir.
It's a different foundations?
Do you know the phone
Yes.
number?
No, I don't, ma'am.
What city is it in?
With Fort Lauderdale.
I've got one in Margate, I've got one in Tamarack, I've got one in Coral Springs, I've got one on Los Olas Boulevard. Do you know where it was, or can you tell us any more about it?
Well, it's right across the street from my sister's house. She stays there over there, and what I was doing, I was trying to get in there. It's right across the street. I stay with my sister.
All right, well, we're gonna leave Mr. Alls's bond at $750. He said he was in, but now he was trying to get in. Marvin Drewitz.
He's here, present Judge at Maine, he's approaching.
Okay,
Judge, as you can see, he has a $25 bond. He's approaching, he's being helped up. Thank you.
That's it, sir.
He's approaching, Judge.
okay.
Mr. Druitt is 63 years old and he's homeless. He doesn't have a nickel to his name, Judge, and he can't afford that $25. That $25 to him is $1 million, Judge. He's asking if the court would consider releasing him on pretrial release.
Well, it looks like, that somehow he was supposed to also be doing SAP, is that correct? Is he in the SAP program?
Well, what we did is basically we asked I believe it was Judge Gottlieb.
Yes.
We asked Judge Gottlieb while he's here, because he's not going to be able to bond out, if he would have sign an order requesting him to be in the SAP program in the meantime until we get the second look, and that's why I'm here. We're asking, I know Mr. Gottlieb was not inclined to release him on pretrial, but he did lower his bond to $25. But he can't afford that, so we're asking for pretrial release.
Well, what kind of priors does Mr. Drewitz have?
Judge, I see here in Broward County, he does have a trespass, conveyance, structure unoccupied, and adjudication from 2018, and a failure to leave property on order on adjudication from 2018 as well.
All right, I'll release Mr. Drewitz to pretrial supervision. And Mr. Drewitz need to make sure that he reports to the pretrial office by tomorrow morning. If you don't report, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. And you also need to make sure that you come back to court when you're supposed to, okay?
Praise God for you, Honor, and you deserve to be reelected.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kinnear Thompson.
He's approaching, Judge. He's here at Maine.
All right, Mr. Thompson was arrested June 21st. And it looks like Mr. Thompson has $3,100 in bond.
That is correct, Judge. He's been here since the 21st. Right now, unfortunately, he has nobody to help post his monetary bond. Understanding, speaking with Mr. Thompson earlier today, he is a foster child. He grew up in the system, and unfortunately, he really has no family to turn to at this time. But because of that, right now, he is taking advantage of some of the benefits. For example, Judge, he's trying to better his life. He has tuition, I believe, paid for at Broward College. He's studying nursing, and he's enrolled, is what he advised me. His schedule is he's supposed to be going at 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Also, Judge, he lives in Pompano Beach, where he's been residing at that location now for about 6 months. Yeah, Mr. Thompson did advise me that he is looking forward to having his day in court. He will be coming to court. He won't miss court, but he's asking if the court would consider releasing him with pretrial release.
Judge, he is actually already out on either bond or pretrial release in case number 19003287 CF10A before Judge Merrigan, also for a burglary conveyance unoccupied, it looks like.
How much bond did he post there?
Let me check.
Judge, the person that posted his bond was his advocate, and Mr. Thompson was advised that that wouldn't happen again.
It looks like total, looks like $11,100, Judge.
Wow. Well, I am not going to change the bonds. I'm gonna leave the bond amounts in place. All right. Eileen Rodriguez,
I think she's out of custody, Judge.
I
Okay.
believe she is out of custody.
all right. And then Ernest Marucci.
Mr. Marucci is approaching, Judge. He's here at me.
Mr. Marucci looks like he has $2,500 in bond with pretrial with a GPS was the order on June
Yes,
21st.
Judge, he was also placed on level 2, Elmo. The problem is, it's not the Elmo because he has a place to live and reside, but his mom, who's on a fixed income, receives Social Security, can't afford to pay the $2,500 bond. Now, he's 33 years old, been here his whole entire life. He's advised me he has prior contact with the criminal justice system, but it was dated. I believe it was almost 10 years ago, Judge. He will be coming to court, Judge. He's asking the court to consider releasing him on level 2, a monitor.
What kind of criminal history does Mr. Marucci have?
Judge, he has a 2011 delivery of cocaine, received an adjudication and a VOP, also a 2010 resisting without violence, DWLS adjudication and a withhold, a 2010 possession of cannabis adjudication with a VOP, and then looks like there were 2 possession of cannabis in 2006, a trespass with a withhold, beverage possession by a minor, withhold a 2003 Berg dwelling, actually 2 2003 Berg dwellings with a withhold.
And Mr. Marucci was honest with me. He said he had a record, but it's been, as you heard from the state, about 8 years that he's been clean, Judge. So at this time, I do have a job. He is working. He works for, that's one thing I didn't mention. He works for West Construction, and he's been employed with that same company now for about 3 years, making $10 an hour. And he helps his mom out with the bills, and she works on a fixed income, Judge.
All right, I'll remove the monetary portion of the release, and he'll be on pretrial with a GPS. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Darren,
Judge.
you're welcome, sir. Darren Isom,
Mr. Isom is approaching, Judge.
all right, on Mr. Isom, he was arrested on June 21st. What is his, how much his bond does he have, or what?
$1,000 bond on a possession of MDMA, Judge. He can't post it. He's still in custody. He did tell me he lives here locally, so he's asking to be released on pretrial release.
And criminal history state?
Judge, he has 2018 possession of cannabis, withhold, a 2011 dealing in stolen property, adjudication and VOP, 2011 trespass, structure conveyance, withhold, 2008 Berg conveyance unoccupied, 2 counts, 1 withhold, 1 adjudication with the VOP. And a 2007 burglary and petty theft, adjudication on the burglary and a VOP, withhold on the petty theft.
He has contact, but some of them are kind of dated, Judge. Considering this drug offense, we wouldn't have an objection as far as random drug testing at the court.
All right, I'll release him to pretrial with random drug testing. Okay? Sir, you need to report to the pretrial office tomorrow morning. You need to be the first one standing at the door, and if you don't report, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Do you understand that? That's also going to include random drug testing, so, just so you know. Were we able to find Don King
They have him, Judge. He's at Paul Ryan.
Okay. All right, Mr. King. Hello. Mr. King was arrested on May 24th. Has the information been filed?
Information has not been filed, Judge.
All right, so Mr. King, you were brought before the court for a 30-day motion for release. The state has not filed the charges, so you are entitled by law to a release. I will sign that order releasing you on your own recognizance. This does not mean that the state cannot file the charges at a later time, so it is now incumbent on you to pay attention to your mail to see if you have to come back to court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, good luck. All right. And then I believe that's it for all our dockets.
I believe so.
All right, thank you, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.